What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title called Nine Kings, which is absolutely dominating the Steam charts right now. We covered this game about a year ago, and I mentioned that it had a lot of potential, but if they made a couple of key changes, it would be an absolute banger. And I'm happy to say they made almost all of those changes that I suggested, and yep, it's an absolute banger. In Nine Kings, you are a king of a province that is trying to hold off the enemy for as long as humanly possible. It's not a deck builder. I wouldn't call this a deck builder, but it is a game that has cards, but it doesn't function the same way Slay the Spire does or any of those energy-based card games. I don't like energy-based card games. That's why we're covering this game, is because I don't mind cards if they're doing something different, and this game definitely does something different. There's tons of synergies. There's loads of replayability. There's an endless mode. Every single king plays in their own distinct way, and every single king can get abilities from other kings as he defeats them, which leads to just an enormous amount of interactions inside of this game that lead to every run feeling fresh and keeping you in the hot seat to play one more time. So today we're going to take a look at the game for about 30 minutes. We're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. The game is in early access, but early access in this one is kind of a technicality because there's a lot of content in this release build, and I do think that this game deserves the 2,000 plus overwhelmingly positive reviews it's gotten in the last week. It's a fantastic little title, likely one of the roguelikes of the year so far. And so let's go ahead and dive on in, give it a run, links down below, and let's play some Nine Kings. So at the beginning of the game, you get to pick your king. All of these kings do different stuff. You have the King of Nothing. He's the jack of all trades. He's got a little bit of everything. We've got the King of Spells. Tends to have lots of long-range units that hit really hard that die to a stiff fart. But if you build him properly, this guy can actually be like a massive snowballing threat. We've got the King of Greed. Everything with him has to do with money. The more money you have, the harder your units hit. Every time you spend money, they get buffs. Every time you get your income up to certain thresholds, they might get more units added to their battalions. And so this guy is for economy players that really like to see number go up incrementally. We've got the King of Blood over here. Probably my favorite army. The King of Blood is really hard to define, but basically everything he does is death interactions. When your units die and when enemy units die, he does things. He summons more demons. He summons more units. He converts the enemy's units into his units that are ghosts when he kills them. That makes this guy really hard to predict exactly what's going to happen when armies clash because you don't know what upgrades he's taken. And so it's kind of hard to plan around. You've got the King of Nature. The King of Nature tends to have a lot of poison effects, a lot of cascading effects, a lot of units that are sturdy, hit hard, and have a secondary thing that they do that you have to take into account as you're playing through the game. The King of Stone, this guy right here is all about building. He's got loads and loads of buildings, not that many units, but his buildings give loads and loads of buffs that make the not very many units you have even more deadly. And then you've got the King of Progress. The King of Progress is like the weird army. Kind of hard to describe. He's like a dystopian cyberpunk plague army with riflemen and mechs and various technologies that do all kinds of weird stuff. He's hard to define. I can't really describe him to you. Today we're going to play as the King of Blood, I think, because he's my favorite guy. We'll play on Baron difficulty for right now because I have not played Count difficulty with this king yet, and so I'm going to keep it on Baron for right now, and then we'll dive on in. The year is 596, and we are fighting against the King of Blood, the King of Progress, and the King of Nothing. Okay, so this game is very simple. In this title, the year is 652. We're up against the King of Nothing, the King of Progress, and the King of Blood. It's random every time you play the game, and so those are the people you're going up against, and when you defeat them, you get to add their abilities to your card deck, basically. But at the beginning of the game, all we can really do is place our Pagoda. Our Pagoda gives us our special ability. Every king in this game has a special ability, everything from throwing a big rock at the enemy to summoning lightning storms, to poisoning people, to summoning units. Everybody has their own thing that they do. Now, at the beginning of the game, you're going to be given a hand of cards. Cards in this game don't have energy. They don't have mana. It does not function like Slay the Spire, which is usually my big argument against card games, that there's way too many energy-based card games out there, mana-based card games, whatever you want to call it. Every card in this game is single use. Once you use it, it's gone forever. And then if you don't have enough cards to get to your three-card hand, it will draw from your own personal deck randomly to give you new stuff. On top of that, every time you defeat an enemy king, you get one of their cards, which is where the synergy comes on in. But on this first turn, we probably just want to put imps down here in the front line. That way we have something to fight the enemy. In this game, you play cards until you only have 2 cards left. That's how the game functions. We could get a Mangler, but it sacrifices an adjacent unit per level to gain 2 damage. I don't know if I want that just yet. I don't know if that plays into my strategy, but we do have the Demon's Altar, which gives us a very strong demon unit that it summons. Right there, you can see him, that little white guy right there. I can also summon demons with my left click, and every time we kill an enemy unit, the demon that thing over there summons, it gets 0.5% stronger. Doesn't matter now, but it will matter in like 30 years when the demons coming out of there are absolute headbreakers. I am going to go ahead and take the Pagoda on this one, and I'm going to upgrade my Pagoda so that I can summon more units, and then back into battle we go. I'm going to summon all my units on their ranged guys real fast. I like this army because they can attack the back line easily. Attacking the back line is not a thing that is like crazy accessible to every single army. I'm going to take Reinforce right here, and I'm going to play Reinforce on these imps. There we go, and that means anytime I upgrade anything in my kingdom, the imps get stronger. That's it. So every time I upgrade a building, it gets stronger. We've got a level 2 Demon Altar right here. I am going to take that. There we go. Level 2 Demon Altar is up and running, so now we get 2 demons instead of 1 demon. Dose demons, way better. Let's go ahead and let's take, so we're getting like whatever from him. I do like archers. I think we take some archers. That sounds reasonable. Blacksmith might not be bad either. Let's take an archer, I guess. And we now get our first royal decree. So in this game, every X amount of years you get a royal decree. This is the same thing as a relic in the Binding of Isaac or in Slay the Spire. It fundamentally defines what your strategy is going to be for the rest of the game. We can have a 20% higher crit chance on everything we have. We can make it so that enemies killed have a 10% chance to be brought back as allies, or we can make our guys double speed. I'm going to go with embalming because it's on theme for what we're trying to do right now. I'm going to put my archers right there. I'll explain why I put them right there in a second, but it boils down to I'm going to put something in the middle right here that buffs everything around it year after year. King of Progress, sent packing. We can get another reinforce. We can get a converter. I wasn't crazy impressed by the converter the last time I ran it, but then again, I didn't really have a strategy that utilized it either. Basically, it's a giant ray gun that converts a number of enemies into rats, which have like 1 HP and 1 damage. It can be really nice if you snipe one of the enemy's primo units with it, but it's random what it hits. So you never quite know. We could get a tanky unit right here that reflects all damage taken. That might be nice. Let's put him right there and kind of like see how they go. I was hoping they would be more in the front lines, I guess, but they're not. Summon all my demons to go fight guys in the back lines. Okay, good stuff. We survived another year. I am going to take my Ooh, a cemetery would be nice. If an adjacent unit dies in battle, summons imps to fight in its place. Yeah, let's go with that. That's going to be my center tile. My lord, the prophet has foreseen a blessing in 9 years. Please don't be in the middle. If you have 20 gold or less by the year of the prophecy, you will multiply your gold by 8. Okay, I'm going to forget about that. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to forget that that exists. But, like, I'll try to keep it in mind. Let's go ahead and summon all of our units to the back line to get their archers. Another solid victory right there, and I'll take it. How high is this multiplied? Ooh, a scout tower, huh? I do like scout towers. So the scout tower, underrated. It doesn't look that good on paper when you first get it, but if you upgrade it properly with like some King of Stone buffs and whatnot, the scout tower can basically shred entire enemy armies by itself. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to take the pagoda though so that we can take it up to level 3. That way I get even more summons to reinforce my lines and, you know, just kind of like encircle the enemy and make them die. Good stuff. All right, we managed to walk that one off okay. We've got another Demon's Altar. I'm going to take the Cemetery for the central upgrade. It's time to pick another king to go to war with. Let's go to war with the King of Nature. We've got lots of little guys, and the King of Nature has lots of poison enchantments that will ultimately make these little dudes being relatively weak not matter. Because they will have stacked so much poison on the enemy by the time that they die that they're going to die walking across the battlefield anyways. King of Nothing, what you got for me? King of Nothing. We've got a blacksmith, we've got a paladin, and we've got steel coat. I'm going to re-roll this. Farm, blacksmith, farm. I'll take soldier. Soldier's good. Let's go with soldier. Soldier's not going to get any implicit bonuses by being where he's at right now, but maybe I can build that out into something later on down the line. We'll keep on fighting with the enemy for right now. They're demons. I think they're investing pretty heavily in their demons right now. That's the vibe that I'm getting, is that their demons are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I would like my demons to get stronger and stronger as well. Let's get the final cemetery upgrade, and we've got our first shop here. With our first shop, spends 9 gold every year and levels up a random plot. Could be useful. I don't know if we have the money to support it, though. I'm going to take the Trebby. And that's all I can take for right now anyways. So Cemetery will go up to level 3, which gives it a really good chance to resurrect units around it. It's pretty solid. And then I'll probably put the Trebby back here. And he's just going to chuck rocks onto the battlefield. We've got our first duel against the King of Nature. I'm going to summon all of my units into his back line to kill off all of his archers. Good stuff. Poison Vial. We definitely want that, but Clone would also be pretty strong. And we get to expand our territory now. This is a new feature of the game that I recommended. I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but, you know, every now and again I have a great idea about a game. So now you can actually expand your territory. This was, in my opinion, the fundamental flaw with the original game design, is that you only had 9 tiles. You could only upgrade so much stuff, and then endless mode felt kind of pointless because you couldn't do anything on your turn anyways. This right here, this is awesome. It lets you expand out your territory. We definitely need to expand out our territory. I'm going to expand it right there in the hopes that I get a farm. I'm going to clone him to get another defender to take them up to level 2. And then we're going to... Ooh, they got lots of shooters in the streets, huh? Everybody got the gat out here. So these little guys, they only target people that are lowest on health, which means that if you're running a low health army, these guys are kind of a problem. And so I'm glad that we managed to push that one out right there. If we get really lucky, we'll get another defender. Okay, another defender right there. They're now fully leveled up, so we don't have to look at them anymore. I'm going to summon all of my guys to the back line over there, and hopefully we make it through this fight without getting too scuffed. Good. Okay, things are feeling nice right now. I like where we're at. Is my demon altar at level 3? It's at level 2. Okay, let's take the demon altar up to level 3 because that'll give us a 3rd demon. New royal decree. Receive 2 cards every battle, but you can't choose your cards anymore. We get transmutation, which converts every single unit we have into a level 3 imp. Or we can take Poison Thorns, which means every time our units attack enemies, they get a poison stack. This one right here, really, really underrated for the amount of damage that it can end up doing. Let's take that up to level 3. That's now done. I need to start taking cards that expand out my territory, too. Until I get those, we have a little bit of a problem. Poison stacking up. And you can see that poison, their meter was holding firm until the poison started to tick. Then they were all gone. Lab Rat is nice. What Lab Rat does is anytime... So Lab Rat, most things in this game can only go up to level 3. But Lab Rat can level up infinitely, which means that if you put Lab Rat on a central tile and then upgrade everything around it, every time you upgrade anything around it, the Lab Rats upgrade, and they can become absurdly powerful. Let's say you have Lab Rats here, Lab Rats here, Lab Rats here, armies here, and buildings back here. You're going to create a death stack that's going to be, like, unstoppable. I'm going to... I don't really want any of these. I'm not majorly enthused about any of these. I'm going to use Overhaul to get rid of my Treb, because it's not really doing much anyways. And that'll level guys up that I haven't been able to level up so far. Because the Treb isn't putting out that much damage. You can see the damage amount that each building is adding to your overall army just by the number that's on the plot after they get done fighting. Elves would be good. It hits the enemy's back line, but Procreate would also be good for adding even more defenders. I'm gonna go with the elves. Elves are kind of baller in this game. They only shoot the furthest back enemy that's on the battlefield, which makes them one of those rare ways to actually get rid of the nuke-dropping heavies that your enemy will inevitably have in their back line. Vampirism would be good, or units explode when they die. That would also be good. I'm going to go for Vampirism, and I'm actually going to do something kind of ugly right now. I'm going to put Vampirism on them for the damage that they're reflecting so that they become even harder to kill. How many of them survived? I can't see because, yeah, that brought their damage up quite a bit. They stayed in. First hit is always critical is nice. I'll take that. Let's make it so our elves have an instant crit every single time they open up combat. I don't mind losing units too much because you can see how much of a stat boost we're getting right now to our demons. Like, they're almost up to 200 HP at this point, and their damage is up to 40, and so, like, that 0.5% is really working for us right now. What do I have going on right now? I could probably start with a blacksmith over here. And we got an expansion right when the blacksmith is going out. What the blacksmith does is every single year it gives a buff to everything adjacent to it that stacks up in perpetuity. And so it can be very, very helpful. Some of my demons on the back line. Oh, these stats going nuts out here. And the nice thing about playing the King of Blood is that you don't really care if you lose units. Like, it's totally fine to lose units. Unit gains +1 damage whenever a plot levels up. Yeah, I'll take that. We got plots to level up. Let's get the extra damage just on my main line of imps, I think. Good stuff. Consume their blood. Destroy their lives. End them. Toss up. Blacksmith and Archer are both good right here, because Archers are what, level 2? Hard to say. Let's go for the Archer, I guess. I think that'll do. And then doubles the maximum HP of all troops. Our demons just got disgustingly overpowered. We'll add them over there, and I need to sell some of these cards that I'm not using so that I get a better hand. Looks like we're cutting through them. Please give me a poison card. Please give me a poison card. No poison card, but we did get Procreate, so I'm okay with that. I'll take Procreate. Let's add, with Procreation, I'm going to add more elf archers, I think, because, you know, the elves, they're breeding out there, doing their thing. Normally they do it kind of slowly, but lately, I don't know if there's like an aphrodisiac in the air. I don't know if we just got like a shipment of lembas bread. I don't know what's going on, but there's elves everywhere. We're looking pretty good going into year 23 right now. I'm going to take Wild Card because I can level up anything with that, and we can now make peace with an enemy king. I don't want to make peace with either of them, actually. I would prefer to make peace with the King of Blood. King of Progress is fine. I'll take that. That's perfectly fine. I'll take him out of the rotation. I am going to get rid of that card just for the extra money. And just start getting rid of these things that I've been carrying for too long so that our draft is better. We stole their little mushroom guy. Oh, we stole their dog. Nice, dude. We have a ghost dog. Can I pet that dog? Now we're going to take Clone, because Clone will allow me to clone the elves and then level them up to level 2, which I think will be helpful. We're going to want that. You guys get in there and start beefing. Weirdly enough, right now, my mirror is actually the army that I'm having the most trouble with. But our demons are so absurdly overpowered right now that I don't think we have to worry about it. Bombers would be interesting. They're like a sacrificial unit, so I'm not like a huge fan of bombers. I could take another batch of imps. That sounds all right to me. And then we got a shop over here. What kind of shops we got going on? I'll take another imp. What level is my archer? Level 3, so I don't need another archer. I can take them up to level 3 with wild card. Let's re-roll it real quick in the off chance we did. We got an elf. Nice. Okay, so that'll work. All right, so now that we have the elf, we have level 3 elves. They're going to need enchantments before they become, like, super good for me to use, but we'll get there. And then we've got another batch of level 2 imps as well, adding more grist to the mill, because remember, every time our units die, our demons get stronger. Do you see how big they are now? They only keep getting bigger. I'm just letting you know. Honestly, I feel like a rat strat would work really well for this strategy too. Yeah, our demons have become the #1 source of damage that we actually have. Are these soldiers leveled up? They're level 1? Oh, goodness. Okay, we got to help out with them then. Let's get these soldiers up to level 2. Most units in this game are absolute dog water till they hit level 3 and have some enchantments on them. Summon my demons on their elves real fast. And then Poison Vial. There we go. That's what we want. Poison Vial's the good stuff. We want to find who has the fastest attack rate out here and Poison Vial them. I want that spot right there. That way I can put in a building. So if I put a farm right here, then I could potentially... Well, no, I couldn't actually. So I would need another plot right there. I put the farm right here. Then I could put the mangler right here. The farm would cause this to grow at the same rate it's being consumed. Yeah, I'd have to do something. But with Poison Vial, we gotta do something with Poison Vial. Let's put Poison Vial on the elves. That way the enemy's back line basically has no chance to make it. Good stuff. Carnage is good. I could take Carnage. When a unit dies, they explode, dealing damage. That would be really, really nice. Let's take these guys up to level 3. That way that they're finished and we don't have to worry about them anymore. We're just playing dueling archers at this point with nature. Poison Vial? Procreate. That's always nice. Yeah, I'll take Procreate. That's fine. Bombers have their attack range doubled the HP. I'm doing it again. We have now doubled the HP on all of our units, so they're going to be pretty stiff and pretty tough to deal with. So first things first, we're going to add poison to those imps. That way they're stacking up a poison dot on the enemy whenever they hit them. Okay. Battles are going shockingly well right now. Do these guys need a level 3 upgrade? They do need a level 3 upgrade. Okay, I can live with that. Let's take you. I guess I could do another demon altar too if I wanted to be really, really filthy about all this. They're not even hurting us anymore, dude. Our HP is so high. Like, through the runes that we've got in this run, we've managed to actually fix the main problem with the King of Blood, is that all of his units are super fragile, and, like, our units are no longer super fragile. We definitely want Chain Lightning. I'll take that. And I think we actually want Overinvest from the King of Gold. This will cost me 30 gold, but it raises the stats by 15% on whatever I put it on. You guys over here get Chain Lightning. Every time they hit an enemy, a Chain Lightning will bounce around that does 1 damage to everything that it hits. We're going to procreate these guys so that there's more of them. These guys aren't doing much right now, but that's because our line hasn't folded yet. If our line ever folds, these guys right here are basically going to be the wall on which the enemy kills themselves, and so it's going to be important to us as we go forward. We'll also make these guys explosive when they die in combat. That way they're like little suicide bombers. And let's get in here. Jesus, 93 damage a hit on our demons right now. That's crazy. Give me another Carnage. All of these buffs stack. And so these guys had Carnage. All right, add another Carnage to them. So they're doing 40% damage whenever they explode, because their HP should be pretty high with those 2 buffs, especially for imps. So every time they kill one... So this troop blob thing... It means that AoE units in this game are absurdly overpowered compared to everything else, all right? Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. I did not want to do that at all. Okay. I'll take the farm because I've been talking about it. The King of Nothing is leading a final assault. We must play all of our cards. I don't have the money to play this card, so unfortunately we're stuck. I'm going to put the farm right here. The farm makes it so any unit adjacent to it grows by 1 unit every single turn. I may have misplayed right there. I'm just going to sell the Mangler. I can't get over-invest. But, oh my god, the damage on these dudes. Jesus Christ. 18,000 damage? Okay, the enemy's brought out his super unit, so let's go ahead and whittle down his back line, and hopefully his AoEs don't eat us alive. We should be able to get through this without too many problems, though. What are you guys fighting over here? What's taking so much damage? He's actually holding out against us fairly well right now. There we go. His front line finally folded. All right, all you guys get in there, and with what you have left, take him out. Easiest boss clear of my life. Good stuff. 14,000 damage out of our demons right there. We're going to continue playing because we're not out of time for the video yet, and honestly, I find where the absurd overpoweredness comes is when you start playing the game like crazy, and you start getting really further into it. Chaos is increased and the enemy is now stronger. Okay, but let me expand my territory. Yeah, I want my territory expansion. Oh, I can just do this whenever I want. All right. Never mind. We'll leave expansion mode off. I would like to get a tower, but first things first, let's get paladins right there. Because paladins are kind of like the defenders. They're really, really tanky and they don't die very easily. And so having a lot of them next to a building that makes them multiply would be good. King of Nature's down. Good stuff. Another elf wouldn't be the worst plan. Summons a fighting spore every 9 seconds in battle. They accumulate every battle. I haven't played around with that card, so I don't know if it's good. Just take whatever. It's fine. We got to wage war against another king. We'll go with the King of Progress because I'm scared of the King of Stone. He's OP. The King of Stone is a run-ender. He's a real problem. I'm going to upload this so that we get 2 units every single time that it ticks. God, they have so many riflemen in the back lines. They have so many. Didn't matter, like numbers, you know what I mean? First hit is critical. That sounds good. We'll put first hit is critical on these archers. Keep running them down from the back. Wow, they went down instantly. They got folded, bro. Just absolutely lamped. Good lord. Let's go with another Carnage, and then I will take summons are 50% stronger. That sounds good. Put another Carnage on these guys, so they're now doing 30% damage. I thought it was 20% per stag. It's 10% per stag. They're doing 30% of their HP as damage when they die. So their entire function here is just to die for me, baby. Die for me. They killed my daemon! Wow, okay, so the King of Nothing got some upgrades, bro. What happened here? The last time we fought you, we obliterated you. What happened there? Good God, what did you get? Oh, they made it. I lost a life. My summons were still trying to beat him down, but I guess that's just the way that it goes. Let's go with a wild card here. I'm going to use the wild card right this second to level up my paladins so that I have many, many more of them. The enemy did just get a fat upgrade to their damage capability, though. When you go into endgame mode, it gives them, like, cascading nastiness that you have to learn to deal with. Well, we're still taking out the King of Nature, so that's good. I'm a little terrified of the King of Nothing, though. Give me Procreate over here, and with Procreate, I will add... Let's add 9 units to the Paladins. Why not? And then they're going to get 2 more, so there's 11 of them. Just a whole bunch of holy men loving, touching, and squeezing right now. Oh, wow, he went through us too like a knife through butter. Okay. All right. We got problems right now. We're having issues. Do I have any imps that need to level up? I don't know if I do. I don't think I have any imps that need to level up. But at this point, I'm not sure we're going to pull this out anyways. Might as well spend some money. Don't want to spend anything here. I need to expand my territory, I think. another batch of imps over there. They're level 1, so they're probably not going to accomplish a whole lot, but, like, that's life. I mean, the King of Nature is still a freebie. Let's hold it up in the air right now. The King of Nature still ending up being like a massive freebie for most of us right now. I'll just get rid of the scout tower since I don't have anything to do with it. This guy steamrolled us last time, though. He does have like 4 times as many units as I do. That's really the unfortunate truth of the situation at the moment. I mean, they're dealing damage. Just look how tanky they are. Ah, well, that's the end of the game. And so I'll close out the video now. I'm actually doing this in post. I don't normally do post commentary like this, but I'm going to do it this time around because I recorded this video like a week ago and just kind of never got around to uploading it. But I've now played the game for upwards of 12 to 15 hours. I've maxed out some of the kings. I've made it to the final difficulty in the game. I've played every single king in the game, and I think I actually have my thoughts pretty clear on this one. I actually think this is an utterly fantastic roguelite. In fact, I think it might be the roguelite of the season. I'm getting that same sort of vibe that I had the first time I played Monster Train, which was also an exceptionally good game. Now, in this title, there are a few things that need to be adjusted around, or at least have not been addressed yet inside of early access. So, for example, as you get up to higher difficulties, the balancing gets kind of weird, and some cards become useless, and various things are not tuned up right. I'm sure those balance things will come with time, but you should be aware by the time you get up to king difficulty inside this title, a lot of cards are not going to be super useful for your overall strategy except for the super min-maxy ones. On top of that, the endgame is not fully fleshed out yet. It's still a work in progress. So these are largely the things that I think the game needs to get taken care of by the time they go to a 1.0 release. But the good news there is that's the entire point of an early access, is so that they can get to those things. As it stands right now, I think you've got a tremendously variable, very replayable, $10 as of right now on sale when I recorded this video. I don't know if it's still on sale for $10, but even if it was $15, this game is definitely worth it. I don't particularly like card games, but this game right here has had me up till all hours of the night, just utterly destroying my sleep schedule, and so it's doing a lot of things right, and it's absolutely blowing up the Steam charts right now, going crazy viral, so I figured I would throw my hat into the ring and say, hey, it's real good for the few people that may come around and actually watch this video. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, it was 9 kings. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Thanks for hanging out, and that's all I got for you, folks.